It's time.
We're back. I don't know what happened, so we'll be all right. We'll survive. But anyways, we can put this on repeat, but just like everyone heard what we said. But here's the play. It's just like I just don't.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Miami, you're awful. You deserve to lose. All right, and then we get to Stephen F. Austin. Like, wow.
Like Cole said, stop of the day.
98 points. Like you're up 70 or 59 points at half. Like, are we putting freshmen in? Like, what are we doing at that point? And like, just not good. That's a lot of points. Have you ever been beat? Not that bad. Clearly, no one really has. Has anyone been beat so bad like this in any sport?
I mean, not that bad.
You mean number of points or giving up? Like I remember in a high school game, we played the team that actually eventually won the state championship that year, and we gave up. I think it was like we lost like 100 and something to 49. But like I had like a career high in that game on the losing end.
Dope.
This was on a basketball score. But it's like point of pride type of thing. Like, oh yeah, I had my career high, but like we gave up 101 to like 3 D1 guys and a couple other guys that were real good, like type of thing. When my sophomore year of high school, when I was starting on varsity, it was like, oh, like a buddy of mine got his shot blocked off the scoreboard type of thing. Like, but like, that's what this game reminded me of. Like, just, oh, we're glad the other team showed up to scrimmage with us.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Next graphic is just middle of the later in the game of the Washington Eagles. The Eagles have 323 pass yards. The Commanders have -1.
-1.
That is absurd.
Real quick, just to explain how that happens is like the Eagles have thrown for positive yards, but any sack yards are kind of as negative. So like the Commanders had negative yards between yards allowed per sack plus positive yards allowed.
The Eagles front seven,
but we're saying
line is pretty solid.
At this point, they only had like 40 or 50 yards passing, and it's late in the game, so it's not like we're saying they had 100 million sacks. Like they still weren't passing very well either.
No, but they were they were like -45 at that point in sacks, though.
Yeah, it's just a funny stat to watch. To see.
Yeah, bad. Just bad.
Just bad. Just bad football. Bad football. A good clip. I want to get your guys' opinion on this one. This is the Bills OC just losing it after the game.
Ken Dorsey,
just
former Miami Hurricane.
Just absolutely losing it, which we've all been there. I feel that pain.
He lost it. That was the point where they failed to be able to get the spike for the field goal to win the game, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think he lost it because of the fumbling.
The previous drive, Josh Allen threw the ball into the ground on a wide open play action.
Wide open. Don't know what was that?
Second game in a row where on a third, fourth and short type of play, Josh Allen has biffed throws.
Yeah.
I'm talking like any one of the three of us, biff type of throw, ball into the ground, don't give your receiver a chance, nothing. And so I think it was a culmination of the Bills had, and you guys can look this up to verify for me, but I want to say the Bills had 200 plus total yards offense more than the Dolphins and ran 50 more plays. I think it was 93-40 on plays in this game. Bills absolutely dominated this game other than the scoreboard.
So it was 495 total yards to 212 total yards.
That's 283 for those scoring at home.
Total plays, 90 total plays for the Bills, 39 for the Dolphins. So
that's 51 for those scored.
By the way, in Miami when it was hot.
Yeah, a lot of cramping, a lot of other BS going on. Dolphins going to get harshly reviewed for letting Tua come back into the game with a very, very likely concussion.
It was a back injury, okay?
No.
His back
Did you?
Yeah, no, I saw
Yeah,
it. Like,
right.
You're concussed.
I think one of my favorite.
Tua came back in with a concussion. I mean, all of those things happened. Ultimately, the Bills pissed this game down their leg. Yeah. It's their one game of the year. They're now going to be 16-1 instead of 17-0. So
you said 15-win season, so this is one of their losses.
I was waiting for that.
Right. They had to go 15-2, so they've got to step on their, a couple of times. So
there was a tweet out there. Some lady tweeted, she's like, based off of the heat and them not providing sunblocks and air conditioning or fans on the sidelines, isn't that an OSHA violation?
Right.
We'll cut to a pick real quick of PointsBet put out. Kyler Murray is now 3-63 when Call of Duty has a 2xp weekend. just good
Amen.
Stuff. Just good stuff overall.
Just the truth.
We've got that T. Higgins catch, which is absurd.
Which was a catch.
That's what I'm saying. It was a catch. I mean, that's a catch. Ocho Cinco, the better 85, actually. He says, Chad Johnson says, Exhibit 1, why T. Higgins is the better 85. I can't do shit like this.
Right. But they called that. How'd they call that incomplete?
I'm not sure. That was probably one of the greatest catches. Like to get
the
toes
defender
down?
kicked the cone over.
Yeah, not to mention like his toes, and there's dirt that pops up. Like Like you can see it. Like and simple.
100%.
Always got to throw up an Iowa stat because why not? Iowa is 131st out of 131 teams in scoring offense, and 1 out of 131 in scoring defense. No matter how the season goes, Hawk fans will always remember it. We joked about that earlier that would happen. It is currently happening.
Yep.
I obviously am a homer, but I wanted to show this Falcons clip, not the whole clip. I wanted to show this first play, and I told you guys in the chat, like as a linebacker, I don't know if I've seen split zones. I've seen those types of plays. I don't know if I've ever seen what Baldy was calling a split block or whatever, like scissors or whatever. And as we show this play, as a linebacker, I'm looking through the guard, depending which side you're on. I'm looking through the guard to, if there's a fullback, because typically the fullback takes you to the play. But as you're looking through the guard to your fullback, you can see the running back take his step. And as this play goes, you've got, it's in slow motion. Why is it in slow motion? Come on, Baldy. You've got basically zone action taking you to the ball. You've got running back and fullback both going that way. So now I'm going probably either over to my other gap or I'm playing over the top. And what happens is then the fullback does a split zone and comes all the way back to the A gap as opposed to the C gap where it hits. Now, some will say that this play was designed to hit the A gap, but just based upon Patterson's path, it wasn't. It was supposed to hit B, and fullback goes all the way back to the backside A, I believe, and that as a read would have been awful. And what happens here, if I can try to slow it down, is this front side linebacker right here, 57, is reading what I just told you to read, and now he's reading fullback go back, and it freezes him because it's against his normal reads. Freezes him, which gets the center up to him, gets locked up, and Patterson's out the gate through the B, and that's how he scored his touchdown. That was just a beautiful design. I wanted to make sure that fans got to see that one because that one was like, that one lit up to me. Yes, I am a Falcons fan, but as a defender, like if I'm that linebacker, you're playing it the exact same way. You're taking to your read, and that ball was right up his gap. He could have just ran right through and got him, but from a read perspective, took him out of that play. So it was really good. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
There's so many things the Falcons can do, I feel like, because of their personnel that, that's what I love about their offense right now.
Oh yeah. It's and you guys go to that clip. We've tweeted it on our Twitter as well. It breaks down, Baldy breaks it down pretty cool of all the different things that the Falcons are doing offensively. Arthur Smith's dialing up some great things, and it's really hard on the defense to defend. Clearly, They've played. The Seahawks defense might not be great, but the Rams pretty solid, and the Saints defense is pretty damn good this year too. So, and they've done it to each one of those teams. So look that up. Other quick clip. Everyone has to see the Colorado buff, what he was doing in the middle of their game, just playing solitaire with himself
in the end zone. In the end zone,
well,
in the field of play.
No, the back of the end zone. It's on their little hill, behind the end zone. But hilarious. They're just so bad. He's just going to play solitaire, which, by the way, was pre-planned. Like, it was pre-planned. They
100%.
Knew they were going to get blown out, so that was all a pre-planned situation. Yep. As always, we'll tweet out some of these things that we got in here, but I wanted to show those quickly before we got into our picks overall. Some game film stuff and whatnot. But before we get into our picks, there was something that actually popped up today, and that better cut back over, from one of our former teammates who's a collegiate coach, Pat Cashmore, reached out to our group of fifth years and had said, hey, I've got some players that are struggling with football being their only identity. And I say football in this because that's what he is. He's a football coach. But also I'm going to rely on Ryan on this just from a collegiate athlete standpoint. Football is, for us, Cole, for Ryan, it's wrestling. Like, it is who we are. It makes up our identity. No matter what we do in life, like, you're a football player, you're a wrestler. Like, that is what we are. And I just wanted to highlight those out there that are athletes, former athletes, current athletes, to-be athletes. Your sport is your identity. That's okay. Just take that skill that you've learned, which there's a lot of skills in every sport that we have, and try to find a different passion for you and apply those same ones. But that feeling of emptiness or don't know what you're going to do or lack of the team and support that you've had for your whole life up to that point, that doesn't go away. It always is there. And I don't know what else to say besides that. Like, it's always there. Just, you got to find another passion and try to grind. It will get better, but rely upon those other collegiate athletes, whether it is like a Ryan as a wrestler with us or Cole and I are teammates. Rely on them afterwards and still stay close, because that's really what you have. But you've got to apply the skills you've learned from your sport to some type of thing, passion in your life.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of echo that. I mean, we've talked about it in the past, and I talked about it a little bit in my intro. Like, I didn't know, so I got hurt early on in the career, broke my neck, had neck surgery, wasn't really sure what I was going to do after that, right? Wrestling was all I knew. That's why I went to college. What was I going to do? You know, I had aspirations that, hey, you know, I had people looking at me for baseball. Maybe I'd go play baseball. And that's honestly what I was going to do. If I figured out after the first time that I hurt my neck, if I couldn't wrestle again, I was going to go transfer and play baseball. Just because I wasn't that tied to you and I yet, hadn't met my now wife yet or any of that stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, I have options. But it does consume you in a sense of, you go to school and you go to practice, and that's what you do. And the people that you surround yourself with are every single day are your teammates. Now, and that's absolutely not a bad thing by any means, because that means that you're surrounded by like-minded people that are probably going through the exact same things as you are. And just like you said, lean on it, utilize it, figure out other passions, whether it's I don't even know. Like, it
could be anything.
It literally could be anything. And there's so much opportunity and weird stuff nowadays with weird hobbies that if you got a weird hobby, lay into it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Right. No, I just think it's more so just utilizing that, all of the things that lead you to being, even a semi-successful student athlete at any level of college, like the discipline, the leadership, just the mindset overall it takes, regardless of even overall success. Like, realize you're so far ahead in the field of everyone else that hasn't been given that opportunity, and really realize it as an opportunity and not a burden overall of utilizing that, whether it be from a networking perspective, a connection perspective, or just an overall, life lesson perspective of whatever field it is that you think you might go into, or, any passion that you want to go into, or, even if you're starting off, at a lower level than you thought you might be, like, just utilize that mindset and whatever it takes, early on, just know that, like, whether you had to grind in football or whether you had to grind in wrestling or, grind in life, like, it's the same type of grind. And that, if you continue to put forth that effort, like, you're going to get to where you want to be.
Absolutely. And for those listening, whatnot, reach out to us. We'll help you. We'll connect dots. We have a giant network that we know, and others on the platform also. If you need help or wanting to have an interest that you don't know how to get connected to, let us know. I've learned that athletes are connected all over the world, more so
100%.
than coming out of college, that athletes will gravitate to each other no matter what, in any sport. So just reach out. We'll be here to support you. But all right, let's get to college football this week. I think it's a solid slate.
It's a weird slate. That's what it is. College football. Let's start from the bottom. Wake Forest versus Florida State. Number 22 traveling to number 23. Florida State's 6.5-point favorites after Wake Forest. Maybe it's because they had a grind. Maybe it's because they're going into hostile enemy territory. But 6.5 is a lot of points for this game. Florida State's a good football team.
Give me Wake Forest. Give me Wake
65.
Forest. Come on, Demon Deacons. Let's go.
Money line
They're
and spread.
covering. They're winning. They're covering. I don't care. Florida State's not as good as Clemson.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
And give me the over. I don't care what the number is.
All right, Cole. You don't have to be a copycat. 65.5 is the over, by the way.
All right, beautiful.
It's
38-31. Florida State's gonna take the L.
Florida State's at 7, 6, and then 65 for the total on DraftKings, by the way. I literally don't know. I really don't. So I'm gonna go with the home team. Give me the Noles.
I mean, part of you loves that.
I mean, I love the Noles. The old school Noles did us. They have been pretty bad lately. But
he says, I don't know. I'm a Florida State fan.
But give me the Noles, and I'll ride with the under actually.
It is a very high total for you.
You taking the Noles to cover too?
Yeah, I am. It's gonna be a sloppy game. I don't know if Wake Forest will be ready for that. You guys, there's a hurricane. Don't know if you guys knew that, but there's a hurricane coming. All right, so
that's fair.
The game
They're going to
also
cancel the game. Is what you're telling.
The game probably will get it canceled. On top of that, but I'll ride with Noles on that one.
All right, so Florida State under, Wake Forest over for us other two. Game number two, Bama, 17.5-point favorites, travels to number 20, Arkansas, 60.5 is the total. I mean, this is very simple for me in my eyes. I'm going Bama under. I don't have really much to say here.
DraftKings got them at 17 and then 60.5, just to put some stuff in there.
This one is just very easy for me to pick, I think.
Arkansas Holmes, they're a different squad. Just saying. They're going under?
Yeah.
I'll ride with that, dude.
I'll go Bama to win, Arkansas to cover, and the under.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Bama, Arkansas under.
Well, at least we agreed on a few things. Why did I put Ooh, that was about to be rough for you. I put Arkansas right away on the money line.
Woo!
It's like, oh, good pick, Story.
Only if it misses.
Yeah.
Or hits.
Next game, this is where it gets kind of weird. Number 9, Oklahoma State traveling to number 16, Baylor. Baylor 2.5 point favorites with 56.5 as the total. For me, I mean, the only reason that Baylor's favored is because it's in Waco, and Spencer Sanders typically struggles against Baylor. Baylor likes takeaways. Spencer Sanders has thrown like 10 interceptions in 4 games against Baylor.
Where the hell is this game? Got it.
But if we're talking about sheer better team, at the beginning of the year, I think this would have been a tougher pick. Now, seeing some things, Oklahoma State's a better team than Iowa State. Now, Baylor did win that game and went into, a road game, tough test. But I like Oklahoma State money line, so obviously spread, and I like the over in this game, I think.
I like the Cowboys as well, but I like the under.
I concur with Cole on that statement.
Wow. Okay, so this is actually kind of surprising to me because we have seen this in the past couple weeks when underdog ranked team is at home. They typically have won these games. It's just been that way.
About to see it again.
Let's flip the script, hopefully. But then we jump up to basically the exact same thing. I don't know how it got to 6.5, but number 7 Kentucky travels to number 14 Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 6.5 point favorites. This is a 54.5 total. Another SEC matchup here. Kentucky's getting back. Kentucky's had some line issues, and Ole Miss has been very good on defense in their defensive line, getting to the quarterback, getting pressure. Kentucky gets their running back, who was the leading SEC rusher last year, and they get a starting guard back. I don't know how this is at 6.5. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I don't
give me the under.
I don't right. I don't know. There's not enough about Ole Miss this year to tell me anything. Ultimately, they haven't played anybody.
Yeah.
They just haven't. At least Kentucky's played Florida and beat them handily. But like Ole Miss only beat Tulsa by 8, but it was before this game, so do they look past them? They destroyed Georgia Tech, but Georgia Tech's not very good. So like, where does any of the stats tell you about Ole Miss that they're going to compete very well in the SEC?
It's literally just that Ole Miss has a really, really good defensive line and defensive front, and Kentucky is very, very weak on the line. So they think that they're going to get to Kentucky's quarterback. I don't know. I don't agree with it. So I got Kentucky over, actually, because I think there's going to be points scored. Yeah, I'm on a little bit more of an over week, I think.
I'll take Ole Miss to win, but I think Kentucky will cover, and I think the under.
I'm gonna ride with Kentucky under.
So a little bit of discrepancy here. We think that Kentucky is definitely better than what they're giving 6.5 points. I don't understand that portion. Kentucky and the points seems to be the play here, is what I'm reading into out of our picks. And then our game of the week, possibly the ACC game of the year, if you really look at it. NC State, number 10, NC State traveling
By the way,
to number 5, Clemson.
That includes the ACC championship.
Oh, yeah, probably. 6.5 point favorites. Clemson is at home. 40.5, lowest total that we have on the docket.
This game doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, this is an NC State cover. Clemson showed me nothing against Wake Forest is the problem that I have.
They scored.
Give me the over. Give me NC State. Give me NC State. Like, I don't understand.
This isn't the game that Clemson loses. they find a way to win. So give me Clemson, NC State to cover, and then the over. They'll find one to choke down their face, which should have been last week, but I don't think it's this one coming home. But I think 40's low, personally. It's just too low.
I actually think 40 and a half isn't a terrible number for this game. Devin Leary is more of a game manager. Clemson really hasn't played that great of a defense. NC State has a pretty darn good – I mean, they have a top 10 defense this year. As long as NC State can stop Will Shipley, they'll be fine. So I got NC State, and I got the under.
Man, this is going to be a week. We're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, there is some fantastic lines, in my opinion, in college football that just don't make sense, that I think are, I say easy bets, which means they'll lose. But there is a few in here that are just like, wow.
Are you able to Bluetooth this call? I just got a message from the wife.
Yeah? Question mark?
Because I'm going to call in. That's what's going to happen. Yeah.
Well, I have to
end this call. Cole, be prepared for joint ad call, conference call. Wife calls. You got to go.
Welcome. Our fireside chat. This one's going to be hot. A couple of topics will be overall trust in a relationship between your planner and yourself.
It's our job to figure out what's in the best interest for you.
We have to start this thing early.
How do I play this game patient enough to see this trade turn to fruition?
Real estate in general can have a lot of tax benefits to you.
Listen and subscribe to the No BS Wealth podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's time